fifth chapter. So we are in the first canto, fifth chapter. Naishkarimyam api achyuta bhava varjitam. We did this. 13th also we have done. That Aho Mahabhaga Bhavam Bhavam Amogadrup. This also verse we have done. Now 14th verse. Right? All are sleeping, I think. Huh? Keep your videos on. Keep your videos on. Am I right or wrong? That you say first. Right.
60th verse Mataji.
Huh?
60th verse Mataji.
16th verse. Okay. Gadadhar Prabhu, mute your phone. Mute your phone. So much of disturbance. Mute. Yeah. 16th verse. Vichakshano syarhati veditum vibho anantaparasya nivrittitah sukham pravartamanasya gunairanatmanah tato bhavan darshaya veshtitam vibho vichakshano syarhati veditum vibho अनन्तपारस्य निवृत्तितः सुखं प्रवर्तमानस्य गुणैरनात्मनः ततो भवान् दर्शय चेष्टितं विभो. आदि साथी की माताजी, म्यूट योर फोन. म्यूट योर फोन. सो विचक्षणो स्यार्हति वेदितुं विभो. Vibho means Lord. Anantaparasya, he is unlimited. Now, who can understand him? Vichakshana. Only expert personalities, arhati, they deserve to understand Lord. Why they deserve to understand Lord? Because they are nivrittitaha. Nivrittitaha means they are retired from sukham, material happiness. That means you cannot keep one foot in the material happiness and try to understand Krishna. No. Nivritta tarsher upagiyamana bhava aushada shrutra manobhiram. Only when you are completely done with your material life, then you have that you deserve. It means you are eligible to understand Krishna. Both they go ill together. You cannot keep both together. How to measure one's own devotion? One should ask, am I interested in material life? And still, I am not fit to be qualified. Sarvopadi vinirmuktam tatparatvena minirmalam. Rishikena rishikesha sevanam bhakti ruchyate. Give up all material designation. The inclination to have material name, fame. The person has to give up this. If he gives up these material desires, then it is easy to progress in devotional service. Then pravuttamanasya, those who are attached to this material qualities, gunai, anatmanaha, he can never attain knowledge. Very clearly it has been given. Those who have material desires, many people try to earn on the name of God, the name of Lord. Many Bhagavad speakers are there. They charge. Prabhupada says, those people, though they may be excellent Bhagavad speakers, they cannot transform anyone. You cannot earn on the name of kathas. So Prabhupada gives a nice system. You put in the account and remove whatever needed for the kathas. Isn't it? For one's own personal maintenance, it's a wrong thing. One's own personal maintenance, one cannot earn through kathas or kirtan. It's a wrong thing. That is what is given here. If he has that inclination, then he will be devoid of knowledge in spiritual value. Tataha bhavan darshayah cheshtitam vipo. O Lord, you show us the ways of transcendental realization. And it is said, those who are not as well situated due to material attachment should be shown the ways. You should show the ways to them. Through the description of the transcendental activities of the Lord. It is why Prabhupada has given a nice system. It is not just kirtan. There should be pravachan also. Through the pravachan, when he hears the pravachan, he should hear the pravachan. Sometimes we have kirtan parties coming. They are more interested in your packets than kirtan, than the knowledge. They'll do a lot of kirtan, lot of jam, dham, dham, dham. Harina will never be heard. So then they like to earn out of it. When they earn out of it, what happens? They will be devoid of the knowledge. So that is why pravachan also should be there. If pravachan they don't hear, they don't understand. Kirtan is very sweet when you hear Harinam Sankirtan very nicely. Prabhupada just had symbols in his hand, what we call kartal. And every word, every letter in the Harinam Sankirtan is to be very clear. So that is actually Kirtan. Kirtan is not some jor, say some banging. No, your Harinam should be heard very clearly. You can have instruments, that is not a problem. But Harinam should be heard very clearly. If that is not done, then inclination to the materialistic life will never go. That person will never be having any knowledge because his inclination is towards the material life. So very clearly here Krishna says that already here Narada tells to Vyasa, already people are burning in fire. What did he do? You have added up. And then those who have renounced materialistic desires only can understand Lord. That means they only can speak about Lord. Those who have inner motives, they can never understand Krishna. And they are not authorized also to speak about Krishna. So it's very clear, just see. What is the main theme in this? Lord is unlimited. Who can know Krishna? Who is completely materially exhausted. He is not interested in materialistic accumulation. If somebody has inner motives, like many times devotees have the motives, okay, some few of them. Oh, let me make some nice, wonderful bhoga and let me take it all home. From this, distribute. Many times these inner motives are there, then it's not good for us. On the name of Kirtan, if the inner motive is to earn, somebody gives, take. Somebody does, even somebody gives, it's our duty to give it back to Srila Prabhupada. If somebody is dependent on this, there is no hard and fast rule that he should not take. He can take it. But he should not ask. If he demands, if he asks, then okay, that will go on. But he will be devoid of transcendental knowledge. It's also given. Okay. Gajendra Sutta Prabhu, please read. In the olden times, kings used to maintain musicians. Kings used to maintain artisans. And they used to be fed, everything they used to do. But temple is to take care of them. That is also important. Okay, read.
Mataji, today yes, we Visurgent for disturbance. So
Okay,
few
okay.
miss.
Adi Satiti Mataji, I hope in London where you are in UK, there is no Visurgent there. Read. Here all our devotees will have this sound. Okay, read. Unmute your phone.
Yes. Hare Krishna Mataji Dandavat Pranam. Vichakshanaha. Oh dear. Vichakshanaha.
Wait. I will read, you read behind me.
Okay.
Vichakshano.
Vichakshano.
Syarhati.
Sarhati. Veditum.
Vibho. Anand. Veditum Vibhor.
Aranantaparasya nibrittitaha sukham
Sukham.
pravartamanasya gunairanatmana
Anatmanaha.
anatmanaha stuto
That sa goes there. Anaha. So tato. Tato bhavan darshaya cheshtitam vibho.
tato bhavan darshaya chestitam vibha.
See there also Anantasya. Don't read ra there. Anantasya. That half ra goes there. Vibho. Vibhor, Vibho. Anantasya.
Vibhor anantasya, yeah.
Okay, read.
Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The Supreme Lord is unlimited. Only a very expert personality retired from activities of material happiness deserves to understand this knowledge of spiritual values. Therefore, those who are not so well situated due to material attachment should be shown the ways of transcendental realization. But your goodness, through the descriptions of the transcendental activities of the Supreme Lord. Purport. Theological science is a difficult subject, especially when it deals with the transcendental nature of God. It is not a subject matter to be understood by persons who are too much attached to material activities. Only the very expert who have almost retired from materialistic activities by culture of spiritual knowledge can be admitted to the study of this great science. In the Bhagavad Gita, it is clearly stated that out of many hundreds and thousands of men, only one person deserves to enter into transcendental realization. And out of many thousands of such transcendentally realized persons, only a few can understand the theological science specifically dealing with God as a person. Sri Vyasadeva is therefore advised by Narada to describe the science of God directly by relating his transcendental activities. Vyasadeva is himself a person, LIT expert in the personality expert in this science, and he is unattached to material enjoyment. Therefore, he is the right person to describe it. And Sukadeva Goswami, the son of Vyasadeva, is the right person to receive it. Srimad Bhagavatam is the topmost theological science, and therefore it can react on the layman as medicinal doses because it contains the transcendental activities of the Lord. There is no difference between the Lord and the literature. The literature is the factual literary incarnation of the Lord. So the layman can hear the narration of the activities of the Lord. Therefore, they are able to associate with the Lord and thus gradually become purified from material diseases. The expert devotees also can discover novel ways and means to convert the non-devotees in terms of particular time and circumstance. Devotional service is dynamic activity, and the expert devotees can find out competent means to inject it into the dull brains of the materialistic population. Such transcendental activities of the devotees for the service of the Lord can bring a new order of life to the foolish society of materialistic men. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his subsequent followers exhibited expert dexterity in this connection. By following the same method, one can bring the materialistic men of this age of quarrel into order for peaceful life and transcendental realization. Thank you very much, Mataji, for the service.
Okay. So, materialistic desire and progress in devotional service. Both cannot be done. If you're completely done with the materialistic desires, then only the knowledge of Lord can come. For maintaining the body, then you have to go and work on it. But that is not materialistic. Materialistic desire is something different. Like I want to have sense gratification. No. You are working so that you have a roof, you can maintain the roof. Under the roof, you can chant and perform devotional service. So here, inertia has not been encouraged. You should work, but at the same time, you should work for Lord. Krishna says, Ma manusmar yuddhecha. You remember me, perform your duties, whatever duties are there. But that doesn't mean that you be a sense monger. No. You cannot be a sense enjoyer. Then Lord's knowledge cannot be understood. Now here, 17th verse. What happens to a person who takes shelter of Krishna? And what happens to a person who doesn't take shelter of Krishna? So, like this verse, many times Srila Prabhupada has quoted, even in Bhagavad Gita, we have gone through this verse. Tekva swadharmam charanam bhajam hare bhajan apakvo atapate tatho yadi yatra kvava bhadram abhudamushakim kovartha apto abhajatam swadharmataha. So this verse comes in Neha Vikramalashosthi Pratyavayo Navidyate. Just open that Bhagavad Gita. Neha Vikramalashosthi Pratyavayo Navidyate Swalpam Kesa Dharmasya Trayate Mahato Bhayat. In that this verse is quoted. Tektva Sudharmam Charanam Bhujam Hare. 2.40. Neha Vikramalashosthi. Just open. Bhakti Vaibhav means Bhakti Shastri repetition. Don't forget your Bhakti Shastri.
Yes, Mataji, it is there, Mataji. 1.5.17 in the purport of 2.40.
Yes. So, in this way, you should know where Srila Prabhupada has quoted. So, Bhakti Shastri student means scrutinizingly you should read again now and see where these verses. Suppose you come in touch with this verse, immediately you should recollect. Oh, I read this verse. In connection to what? Neha Vikramanashosthi. So Krishna has told, even if a person has done a small thing in devotional service, he is not lost. So, Tektva Swadharmam, he has given up all his dharmas, his duties. Tektva Swadharmam, taken shelter of Krishna's Charanam Bhujam Hare. But there also he joined the temple and he's sleeping, not coming to Mangalarti, not interested in devotion, whole day sleeping. When Prasada, Mahaprasada Govinde, Parapari comes. That means his only mission is eating and sleeping. Krishna says, still there is no loss. Bhajan apakvaha athapate tato yadi. Bhajan apakva. Apakva bhajan is doing. He's not interested in bhajan and all. But he has come in the shelter of Kuru Shishya Parampara. He has taken them. But Hare, Tektva Sadharmam Charanam Bhujam Hare. How can you go to the lotus feet of Krishna? Only through your acharyas, isn't it? So he has taken the shelter of Guru Shishya Parampara, but is not interested in devotion. Still there is no loss, Krishna says. On the contrary, Yatra kava bhadram abhudamushakim kovartha apto abhajatam sudharmatam. He is performing his dharma. Chaturvarnyam, Maya Srishtam, all Varnashrama dharmas he is doing. But abhajatam, he is not interested in chanting the holy name of Lord. What is the use? In that purport, Prabhupada writes, what profit the man if he gains the whole world but suffers the loss of the soul? So if a person is not interested in the holy name, what is the use? So Narada is telling to Vyasa, you Vyasa, what you have written? You have written things, flowery things, encouraging Varnashrama system. All flowery languages. Perform this ritual, perform that ritual, do this sanskara, that sanskara, everything you have done. But you have not enough glorified the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Even if a person is not doing his any duties, is not performing his duties, he has taken Hari shelter, the shelter of Krishna. Then it is said, even if he is not doing bhajan properly, just taken shelter of Hari, still there is no law, there is no loss. On the contrary, he is doing everything nicely. You have emphasized on all the dharma, artha, kama. But what about moksha? Your people, according to people, what is moksha? It's a relative term. They are not understanding what is the real meaning of moksha. Mukti hitva anyatha rupam swarupena vivastiti jiver swarupo hoy krishnera nityadas. That is the real meaning of swarupa. To understand hitva anyatha rupam, give up all anya rupaha. Oh, I am a woman, I am a man, I am a grahastha, I am a vanaprasthi, I am a sannyasi. Every day what we should chant when we collect all the things for Krishna, when we blow the Shankha, what we should chant? Naham vipro na chanara patir napi vaishyo na shudro. Naham varni na chagraha patir na vanasto yatirva. Kintu prodya nikhila paramananda purna mritabhe. Gopi bhartur padakamalayo dasadasa anudasah. Who am I is the first question you should ask. And memorize this verse. The most important verse. You'll find this verse even in Chaitanya Charitamrita, where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he pulls the Ratha, before pulling the Ratha, he sings 4 verses. In that, this verse is there. Naham Vipro, Nachanarapatir, I am not a Brahmana. I am not a Kshatriya. Naham Vipro, Nachanarapatir, Napi Vaishyo na Shudra, I am not a Vaishya. I am not a Shudra. Naham Varni, Nachanarapatir, na Vanasto Yatirva. So, neither I am Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, nor I am Brahmachari, nor I am a sannyasi, nor I am a grahastha, nor I am a vanaprasthi. Then who am I? Nikhila Paramananda Purnamritabdar Gopi Bhartur Padakamalayur Dasa Dasanu Dasa. I am the servant of the servant of the servants of the servants of the Lord. If this understanding is there, they will always serve everyone very nicely. We are just servants. So this verse should be chanted when we do the deity worship, especially when we blow the Shankha. It is not me who is serving you, Krishna. It is the Guru Shishya Parampara. I am just a tool in the hands of Guru Shishya Parampara. Or sometimes we like to show, I have dressed deities. See, I have dressed deities, why deities are looking very beautiful. Many times the pujaris have this. You go to big temples, they say, today, Mataji, how Lord is looking? Immediately you should understand. He has dressed. So Lord is looking very nice. Many times I have been asked this question, how Lord is looking, Lord? Then I said, very beautiful. I think you have dressed. That is why Lord is looking very. Yes, Mataji, I have dressed. But devotees, that directly they will not say, I have dressed. So anyhow, this verse will always make us understand what is our position. Our position is just we are the servants of Lord. So now this person, they took the shelter of Lord, but there also is not doing bhajan properly. But still he is under the care of the spiritual master. Spiritual master knows when to thrash him. But there is a person who is not taken the shelter of the spiritual master. Even if he is wonderful, what is the use? Like there are children who play on the streets. They play cricket, and they really play very nicely. The shots they play, they are very nice. And here you put your children in the cricket coach. They cannot do anything. Then you put your children for the swimming. But there are expert swimmers in the villages. I had gone to a place where it is Tulsidas birthplace. I had gone there. Nice pond. And I saw some few children, village children. They were all behind us. Throw the coin. We used to throw. They exactly jump that spot and remove the coin. Who taught them? And here to go to the Olympiad and all so much of. But who is asking these boys? There's a difference. There is a trainer, he shines. There is somebody who has no one, nothing, nobody knows about it. There is a nice, wonderful farm where you have nice mangoes, which is grown by the gardener. People go and purchase. There's a roadside Mango trees, nobody asks. There should be a hand. There is an artist who draws very nicely. He's blind, still he draws very nicely. Nobody is asking. There is a academic school for that. Then, oh, JJ School of Arts. People recognize. There are so many who are expert even by not going to the colleges. You know, there are farmers who just can predict when the rain can come. But there is a department. Which department that is? Which speaks about the weather forecast? Meteorological department.
Meteorology.
So they study. They study, then they show their expertise. And here, farmer Bichara, he has not studied, but he knows everything. So there are experts, but nobody recognizes. That is this meaning of this verse. You need a shelter. Even if you are bad, they can correct you. Like there is a child who goes to the school, there is a child who does not go to the school. There is a child who's not going to the school, but is expert. There's a child who goes to the school but is naughty. But there is a chance of his improvement. And this child, even though he is good, nobody recognizes. That is the meaning of this verse. Okay. If you are not taking shelter of Krishna, howsoever you may be expert, no use. If you're taking shelter of Krishna, even though you're not doing anything, but still you have hopes. Okay. Narayana, read.
त्यक्त्वा स्वधर्मं चरणाम्बुजं हरेर् भजन्नवापो भजन्नपाक्वो भजन्नपक्वो थपते ततो यदि यत्र क्व वा भद्रमबुद् अमुष्य किम् को वार्थ आप्तो भजतां स्वधर्मतः
भजतां स्वधर्मतः or you join that both. Apto
भजतां स्वधर्मतः त्यक्त्वा स्वधर्मं चरणाम्बुजं हरे भजन् अपक्वोत्थपतेत्यतो यदि यत्र क्व वा भद्रमबुद्धममुष्य किम् को वार्थ आप्तो भजतां स्वधर्मतः. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada.
Memorize this
Prabhupada
verse.
ki jai.
Memorize this verse. Yes.
One who has forsaken his material occupations to engage in the devotional service of the Lord may sometimes fall down while in an immature stage. Yet there is no danger of his being unsuccessful. On the other hand, a non-devotee, though fully engaged in occupational duties, does not gain anything. As far as the duties of the mankind are concerned, there are innumerable duties. Every man is duty bound not only to his parents, family members, society, country, humanity, other living beings, the demigods, etc., but also to the great philosophers, poets, scientists, etc. It is enjoined in the scriptures that one can relinquish all such duties and surrender unto the service of the Lord. So, if one does so and becomes successful in the discharge of his devotional service unto the Lord, it is well and good. But it so happens sometimes that one surrenders himself unto the service of the Lord by some temporary sentiment, and in the long run, due to many other reasons, he falls down from the path of service by undesirable association. There are so many instances of this in histories. Bharat Maharaj was obliged to take his birth as a stag due to his intimate attachment to a stag. He thought of this stag when he died. As such, in the next birth, he became a stag, although he did not forget the incident of his previous birth. Similarly, Chitraketu also fell down due to his offenses at the feet of Shiva. But in spite of all this, the stress is given here to surrendering unto the lotus feet of the Lord, even if there is a chance of falling down, because even though one falls down from the prescribed duties of the devotional service, he will never forget the lotus feet of the Lord. Once engaged in the devotional service of the Lord, one will continue the service in all circumstances. In the Bhagavad Gita, it is said that even a small quantity of devotional service can save one from the most dangerous position. There are many instances of such examples in history. Ajamila is one of them. Ajamil, in his early life, was a devotee, but in his youth, he fell down. Still, he was saved by the Lord at the end. Hare Krishna.
Ajamil was initially in the early life was a devotee, but then in the youth he fell down. But Krishna never forgets, even if a small thing done to him. तस्यैव हेतो प्रयतेत कोविदो न लभ्यते यद्भ्रमतामुपर्यधः तल्लभ्यते दुःखवदन्यत सुखं कालेन सर्वत्र कबीरा रमहसा. If possible, memorize all the verses. Narada's instructions. You can take it as a lifetime project. Very nice verses.
Mataji, 1 lifetime or 10 lifetimes?
Whatever you can take this. Very nice. One verses are very good. तस्यैव हेतो प्रयतेत कोविदो न लभ्यते यत् भ्रमतामुपर्यधः तल्लभ्यते दुःखवदन्यतः सुखं कालेन सर्वत्र गभीरा रमहसा. This Kartik month comes now. At that time, some sankalpas are taken. I will memorize this much. So you can take some 4-5 shlokas for memorizing. Like you have Nayad Vachas Chitrapadam Hari Rishwatadvagi Sarvojam Tagavitlava. And you had many more verses. Jukupsitam, that verse. Then you have that's nice verse. Naishkarmemapi Achyutabhava Varjitam, that verse. Like this, you can take some few verses. Because anyhow, you're going to be future preachers, and some of them are preaching also. So as a preacher, you should know the verses. That makes your confidence on the subject also. You increase your confidence. And nobody argues with you, because it's not you who are speaking. You're not speaking with your own speculation. You're speaking from the verses quoted. Tasyaiva heto prayateta kovido. For the purpose, hetu, reason. Tasyaiva hetoho prayateta kovido. Kovido means one who is philosophically inclined. Na labhyate yad brahmatam upari adha. Na labhyate, not obtained. What? Brahmatam, wandering. Upari adha, from top to bottom. Tad labhyate dukkhavat anyataha sukham. It can be obtained like the miseries anyataha as a result of previous work. Sukham, sense object, sense enjoyment. Kalena sarvatraha gavira ramhasi. In course of time, everywhere, subtle, enjoy, progress. Like this, the meanings have been given. So the translation goes like this: people who are actually intelligent and philosophically inclined should endeavor only for that purposeful end which is not obtained even by wandering from the topmost planet, Brahmaloka, to the lowest planet, Pataloka. As far as happiness derived from sense enjoyment is concerned, it can be obtained automatically in course of time. Just in course of time, we obtain miseries even though we do not desire them. So heta means the reason. What is the purpose of coming in Krishna consciousness? To attain the goal. The goal is Krishna Prem. What is the goal of chanting? In today's, I was just reading about Haridas Thakur. Somebody was describing what is the goal of chanting? Oh, to remove ourselves from the sinful reactions. Somebody says, to attain all the material benefits. Then Haridas Thakur said, somebody said, to get rid of this Janma Murti Jara Vyati. Haridas Thakur told that is not the purpose. The purpose of chanting the holy name is to get Krishna Prema. It is not to get rid of this material world or to get rid of these material reactions. No. The purpose of chanting is to attain Krishna Prema. So Kovido means one who is philosophically inclined. They know what they know. They know what is the purpose. Purpose of reading the Shastras. So, O Vyasa, those who are spiritually inclined, they will not even touch your book. Now just see, Narada is speaking to Vyasa. Why did he speak this verse? What did he say? That Tad Vayasam Tirtham Ushanti Manasaha. You have created only a Vayasam Tirtham, a pilgrimage of crows. And those who are spiritually inclined, they know the purposeful end or they know the goal. They will not be interested in reading your scripture because they know that the purposeful end is not attained by just wandering in this material planet. What you have described about the ritualistic aspects that can take a person to the upper planets. But then again, Shine Punye Martya Lokam Vishanti. You have to come back again. So then, this happiness and misery. This happiness, which is derived from sense object, again, this is temporary. It is going to automatically go away. You don't want misery, but misery comes. You don't want misery to go also, misery will go away. If you want happiness also, it is if your karmas are in such a way that your karmic reactions allows the happiness to come, happiness will be there. In that, always remember my Shiksha Guru's telling one nice example. He used to study in the Marine College. He's a marine engineer. So in that college, they were giving 3 days holidays for those who got this eyes, like sore eyes. Madras eye, you say. So everybody were getting 3 days holidays, except for a boy. He did not get the sore eyes. So he went and went on peeping in others' eyes. Still, he did not get sore eyes. Then he started applying the dirty thing which comes from their eyes to his eyes. Still, it did not come. So if in your bhagya there is no misery, it will not come. So how much soever you may say, oh, I want some holiday, at least some cold and cough should be there. Not come. If it is there, it has to come. So that is why it is given. As far as happiness derived from sense object is concerned, it can be obtained automatically in course of time. Just as in the course of time, we obtain misery even though we do not desire them. So this miserable situation, nobody desires, it comes. All of a sudden it comes. And happiness, whether you want or not, in course of time, it is going to come. Okay. So, O Vyasa, you have emphasized so much on this happiness going to upper planet. That is also again, they are going to come down. So you have emphasized on this thing so much. Kovidaha. That means those who are intelligent people, they are not interested in your subject. Okay, Vimla Mataji, read.
Translation. Persons who are actually intelligent and philosophically inclined should endeavor only for that purposeful end, which is not obtainable even by wandering from the topmost planet, Brahmaloka, down to the lowest planet, Patal. As far as happiness derived from sense enjoyment is concerned, it can be obtained automatically in course of time, just as in course of time we obtain miseries, even though we do not desire them. Perfect. Every man, everywhere is trying to obtain the greatest amount of sense enjoyment by various endeavors. Some men are busy engaged in trade, industry, economic development, political supremacy, etc. And some of them are engaged in fruitive work to become happy in the next life by attaining higher planets. It is said that on the moon, the inhabitants are fit for greater sense enjoyment by drinking soundness and the Pitraloka is obtained by good charitable work. So there are various programs for sense enjoyment, either during this life or in the life after death. Some are trying to reach the moon or other planets by some mechanical arrangement, for they are very anxious to get into such planets without doing good work. But it is not to happen. By the law of the Supreme, different places are meant for different grades of living beings according to the work they have performed. By good work only, as prescribed in the scriptures, can one obtain birth in a good family, opulence, good education, and good bodily features. We see also that even in this life, one obtains a good education or money by good work. Similarly, in our next birth, we get such desirable positions only by good work. Otherwise, it would not so happen that two persons born in the same place at the same time are seen differently placed according to previous work. But all such material positions are impermanent. The positions in the topmost Brahmaloka and in the lowest Patan are also changeable according to our own work. The philosophical inclined person must not be tempted by such changeable positions. He should try to get into the permanent life of bliss and knowledge, where he will not be forced to come back again to the miserable material world, either in this or that planet. Miseries and mixed happiness are two features of material life, and they are obtained in Brahmaloka and in other lokas also. They are obtained in the life of the demigods and also in the life of the dogs and hogs. The miseries and mixed happiness of all living beings are only of different degrees and qualities, but no one is free from the miseries of birth, death, old age, and disease. Similarly, everyone has his destined happiness also. No one can get more or less of these things simply by personal endeavors. Even if they are obtained, they can be lost again. One should not, therefore, waste time with these fancy things. One should only endeavor to go back to Godhead. That should be the mission of everyone's life. Hare Krishna.
Next. न वै जनो जातु कथं च नाव्रजे मुकुन्दसेव्यन्यवद् अङ्ग संसृतिं स्मरन् मुकुन्दाङ्घ्रि उपागुहनं पुनर्विहातुम् इच्छेन न रसग्रहजनः न वै जनो जातु कथं च नाव्रजे मुकुन्दसेव्यन् यवदङ्गसंसृतं स्मरन् मुकुन्दाङ्ग्यु स्मरन् मुकुन्दाङ्घ्रि उपगूहनं पुनः विहातुम् इच्छेन रसग्रहोच्चतः जनः न never why certainly janah person jatu at any time kathanchana somehow or the other avarajit does not undergo mukunda sevi the devotee of the Lord anyavad like others anga oh my dear samsritam this material existence smaran remembering mukundangri the lotus feet of the Lord upogahanam embracing punaha again vihatum willing icheta desire na never rasagraha one who has relished the mellow janah the person. So my dear Vyasa, even though a devotee of Krishna sometimes falls down somehow or the other, he certainly does not undergo material existence like others, etc. Like fruity workers, etc. Because a person who has once relished or the taste of the holy name of the Lord can do nothing but remember that ecstasy again and again. So fall down of a devotee and fall down of a materialistic person has been compared. Na janaha jatu, like how a common man falls. At any time, this person, that is Mukunda Sevi, the devotee of the person, devotee of the Lord, will not have to undergo such fall down. You have a verse in Bhagavad Gita, api chet suduracharo bhajate mam ananya bhak sadhureva samantavya samyak vyavasito hi saha. You read that verse, api chet suduracharo. Because of some durachari, he has fall down. But still that fall down is not like the fall down of a materialistic person. Materialistic person fall down is what? Going in the birth and death cycle. A devotee's fall down is not in this way. Okay, he may not be experiencing the bliss because of the aparadhas, but he is in the process because he has at least one time chanted the holy name of the Lord. So he will be in the process. He may not be able to relish the holy name. He may not be able to experience the bliss in the holy name. But his fall down is not like the fall down of a materialistic person. The devotee has not to undergo this birth and death cycle. Again, he will come back as a human only. And he will be given the opportunity to chant the holy name nicely. So that is why Krishna says, Mahato Bhayat can come out of that Bhaya. But that doesn't mean that on the strength of the holy name, go on committing the offenses. Namno baladhyasya papa buddhihi. No. You're not supposed to do that. But accidental fall down has happened. Accidental. It was not his inclination. But somehow he got cheated. Accidental fall down has happened. But then Krishna says he doesn't have to worry. His fall down is not like the fall down of the materialistic person. Oh my dear, Samsruti, materialistic existence, because he is remembering Smaran Mukundangari, is always remembering the Lord, Krishna will again make him remember the Lord. Okay. Punaha Vihatum. He will again get the opportunity to remember the Lord. So his materialistic inclination will automatically go away. Now, why did Narada say this verse to Vyasa? Oh Vyasa, whatever you have put in the Vedas, that is only taking a person from up to down. Just upper planet, again down planet. So it is like a fall down only, na? Suddenly you go to upper planet, again you are falling. Then your materialistic rituals are only allowing a person to take many, many births. He takes the body of a demigod, again comes back, again he has to go under the evolutionary process. The reactions are there, so many karmas are involved. Prabhupada writes in one place, karma, vikarma, sakarma, vikarma, both are vikarma only. You have not taught them to offer everything to Krishna. Nacha arpitaha. You have not told them to offer to Krishna. So whatever you have taught is only a sinful reaction for which they are going to get so many birth and death cycle. That is a fall down for them. But a devotee who takes the shelter of Krishna, he will never fall down in this material existence. He will always get an opportunity to chant the holy name more nicely. Okay. Gajendra Sutta Prabhu, read. It's the last verse. Okay. Yeah.
Navajano jata katan vachano vraje mukunda sevya anyava anga samsrutim smaran mukunda angya upaguhanam punaha vihatam iche narasa grahojanaha. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. My dear Vyasa, even though a devotee of Lord Krishna sometimes falls down somehow or other, he certainly does not undergo material existence like other fruitives, etc. Because a person who has once realized the taste of the lotus feet of the Lord can do nothing but remember that ecstasy again and again. Purport. A devotee of the Lord automatically becomes uninterested in the enchantment of material existence because he is a rasagraha, one who has tasted the sweetness of the lotus feet of Lord Krishna. There are certainly many instances where devotees of the Lord have fallen down due to uncongenial association, just like fructivores, who are always prone to degradation, but one to a fall down. A devotee is never to be considered the same as a fallen karmi. A karmi suffers the result of his own fruitive reaction. Whereas a devotee is reformed by chastisement directed by the Lord himself. The suffering of an orphan and the suffering of a beloved child of a king are not one and the same. Our orphan is really poor because he has no one to take care of him. But a beloved son of a rich man, although he appears to be on the same level as the orphan, he always under the vigilance of the capable father. The devotee of the Lord, due to wrong association, sometimes imitates the fruitive works. The fruitive works want to lord it over the material world. Similarly, a neophyte devotee is foolishly thinks of accumulating some material power in exchange for devotional service. Such foolish devotees are sometimes put into difficulty by the Lord himself. As a special form, he may remove all material paraphernalia. By such action, the bewildered devotee is forsaken by all friends and relatives. And so he comes to his senses again by the mercy of the Lord and it set right execute his devotional service. In the Bhagavad Gita, it is also said that such fallen devotees are given a chance to take a birth in a family of highly qualified brahmanas or in a rich mercantile family. A devotee
प्राप्य पुण्यकृतं लोकान् उषित्वा शाश्वतीं शमः शुचीनां श्रीमतां गेहे योग भ्रष्ट विजाय. If he has fallen, okay, he will get the chance. Okay.
A devotee in such a position is not as fortunate as one who is satisfied by the Lord and put into a position seemingly of helplessness. The devotee who becomes helpless by the will of the Lord is most fortunate than those who are born in good families. The fallen devotees born in a good family may forget the lotus feet of the Lord because they are less fortunate. But the devotee who is put into a fallen condition is more fortunate because he swiftly returns to the lotus feet of the Lord, thinking himself helpless all around. Pure devotional service is so spiritually relishable but that the devotee becomes automatically uninterested in material enjoyment. Thus, that is the sign of perfection in progressive devotional service. A pure devotee continuously remembers the lotus feet of Lord Sri Krishna and does not forget him even for a moment and not even exchange for all the opulence of the rewards. Hare Krishna.
Okay. Stop here. Any questions you can ask?
Mataji, Haribol, Hare Krishna Mataji. Mataji,
Yes,
I have got a question. There is Bhakta and Abhakta. So there are imposters also in any society. So those imposters, they might be interested in Tantra, Mantra, black magic, but at the same time, they're trying to be a candidate of sannyas and all those. So what is the position there?
Which candidate? Candidate of sannyas, ठीक है? He's interested in mantra tantra.
Yes, yes, black magic.
Black magic. Then he is not fit to be a sannyasi. What is sannyasi? To give up everything and be just surrendered to Krishna.
Yes.
If he is interested in mantras, tantras, but if he knows how to use that mantras and tantras in the benefit of a devotee, see, mantras and tantras are not wrong, but he should know how to utilize them. It is not black magic. Black magic is something which is harmful for others.
That's what is.
Tantra Shastras, Tantra Vidyas, there are two types of tantras. The tantras which is employed in the service of Krishna. Today also in Padmanabha Swami temple, Guruvayur temple, it is by tantric worship only Krishna is, by tantric vidya Krishna is worshipped. So tantras employed in Krishna's worship. Our worship is Pancharatra worship. Two types of worship is there, Pancharatra Vidhi, Tantric Vidhi. So anything is you are utilizing in Krishna's service, nothing wrong. Black magic is something which you are using in a wrong way. That means you are doing it for harming somebody else.
Yes.
Not good. And he's not fit to be a sannyasi. He's not fit to be a devotee. only.
Yeah.
Leave aside sannyasi.
So imposter, huh? In a way, they are still they are still in any society, some sort of people like that.
Yes. There are many people like that
Mm.
who want to harm others just to satisfy their inner motives.
Yeah, ulterior. Yes. Oh, that's good to know, Mataji. Today I learned something. The tantric way you can worship Krishna.
Yes, Guruvayur Padmanabha Swami temple, they worship in the tantric way. Tantric
Oh.
method of worship. For the moment you hear the word tantras, no? And if you know tantras means something which is black magic.
Like a Kali Mata worship, Durga worship in Bengal. They do Tantra Mantra and black magic also. They will harm people.
See, again, worship to Durga Mata, worship to Kali Mata is not wrong. Utilizing the worship in a wrong way is wrong.
Right.
If you are worshipping Durga ji in connection with Krishna, nothing wrong.
Right.
In Canto, Bhagavatam very clearly Brahmaji speaks. If you see me as a creator, you are wrong. If you see me as a subordinate to Krishna, you are right.
Right.
So
Yes.
seeing the demigods in connection with Krishna, perfect vision. You worship them to utilize to harm someone or for your personal benefit, it is wrong. Kama says the Rutagyana. Prapadyante Anitevitaha. Because your
Right.
intelligence is stolen with your motives. In that motives, you may have something to accumulate. In that motives, you may have something like to harm someone. So you are using Kali Mata to harm somebody else.
Yes.
Now, every Tantra Vidya, that is also coming from demigods only. But you are using that Vidya for a wrong purpose.
Right. Thank you so much for this explanation. Yes, I was bewildered. Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay. So we'll meet on Tuesday. Hare Krishna.